So, hello, audience. Today I'm at Ernie Meyer live show and the Ernie Meyer show with Laura Cross. Laura Cross comes to us talking about her, and she's been in her military life, all her adult life, has lost her husband at age 37, and her goal is to help people to be proactive rather than reactive about self-care and not enough caught in today's rat race. You know, I come from a background in, well, I'll say manufacturing. And a lot of things that we were taught, and I was trying to teach people, is how to take care of the machinery before it breaks down and before there's even wear and tear in it. Well, the same thing is true with your body, because if you don't have your body in good shape, it's the only place you have to live while you're here on this earth. You might as well take care of it. And Laura is going to talk about how she has transformed into that. And stay till the end, because she has an irresistible offer, and I have one as well, that we will talk to you about. And if you like what you see here, or it can help somebody, please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe, because you never know who you're going to run into who can use the information here today. Laura, why don't you take it away? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have a lot of accomplishments in electrician in the Air Force and a BS and master's degree and self-care. And, you know, you were a travel agent at one point, and now you're on a path to success. Tell us about that, please.
Thank you, Ernie, and thanks for having me. Yeah, actually, I've been, in military family all my life. So even as a kid, I kind of did the whole full circle. I was a dependent, I was active duty, I met my husband passed away, and then I became a widow. So I kind of did the whole the whole full circle deal. And I am still a certified travel agent, but when you lose your husband and you lose something like that, that was one of, well, that actually is the lowest and worst moment of my life. I won't say one of, because I haven't had any others. It's just that one. But, it was very unexpected when you're military, and other military people can relate. But if you work a job, it's kind of in the same, except for with military, you go when and where you're told to go. No questions asked, you go. So you're traveling, you're not traveling on your own terms. Okay. And I can't tell you, we've moved like 5-7 times during Christmas time, not ideal. But we were so thrilled when we had finally got back to Colorado. My husband was in a career that he used to be TDY, which is a temporary duty assignment, a lot, like gone 3-4 months, home a month, back out. Here, he only had to do it like once a year. So we were super excited to be back here. We got a home. We started kind of making more permanent plans. Because of it, we never had a honeymoon. We got married during Desert Storm, so it almost canceled our wedding. We never had the honeymoon. We never had a vacation of our own. We always used those 2 weeks to see one side of the family or another, which is not a bad thing. It's just not time for yourself. And so we always thought we would have when he retired. But I got a rude awakening on December 21st of 2004. We went to lunch with my parents. We were laughing at lunchtime, and by 10 o'clock, he was pronounced dead on the table. He was 36 years old. I was 37, and he had died of an aortic arch dissection. Some things that could have been caught, but wasn't, due to, the moving around doctors and stuff. But so that was really tough. I was never one to even talk about that stuff or discuss. We were too young. Why would I discuss plans of dying, what you're going to do later? It was never even a thought in my mind. And then I got slapped with a reality. We had 3 dogs that were our kids. My Samoyed I had put to sleep 2 days after my birthday. 2 weeks later, my husband died. Following year, I had to put my quiche hound to sleep. Within 13 months after he died, I had been to 4 different hospitals, 3 different funerals. I had had enough. And I was working night shift. If you've ever worked night shifts, because I had to, because it was a higher differential. And when we moved to Colorado Springs, the first thing the military told us is you get paid 36% under what you need to live here. I was already out and separated at that time. So I worked night jobs so we could make ends meet. So we were caught up in that rat race, and a lot of people are caught up in that rat race. So at that point, I kind of really learned how short life is. It's always been in my nature to take care of others. And I'm still a caretaker at heart, have a really big heart. I enjoy doing it. However, it can be detrimental to your health. It's why I started in travel. I wanted to do something to work from home so I could be there for my family, my friends, and so that I never had to say, oh, I can't get away from work, or I can't be there for somebody. I didn't want to do that. And I did travel for a lot of years, and I still do. So, and I still enjoy travel. However, the reason I want people to travel, because they're not taking their vacation days. 2018, 768 million unused vacation days went, and these are Americans in America, that they didn't use. That was paid time off. And people don't understand, if you don't take that break and you don't take care of yourself, you're doing a lot of damage to yourself. You know, to get past his death, I threw myself into trying to fix everybody. Let me tell you, that doesn't work either. It really doesn't. It was draining. It took a lot of energy, but really what I realized I was doing was I was avoiding facing kind of what I needed to. It helped me at a time, because to me, there was no one else that was going to take care of our other two pups the way I could. So I needed to be there for them. But then I started learning that I needed to take care of me. And that rude awakening came because like I said, I worked night shift. So when I was driving home from working all night long, it's quiet. I had nothing but time to think. I am so drained. I actually fell asleep twice driving home up 105. And I mean, I woke up and I didn't hit anybody, but I could have.
Yeah.
And it came really close. And at that point, it's like, I need time off. 7 days bereavement didn't do it. I went out on short-term disability, and, you know, I'm not happy to say, but at the time I needed the antidepressants and the stuff to help me sleep, because I just was not functioning well. Once I've gotten off of them, though, I've never gone back. I am all about fixing things holistically. I don't like being on drugs, but I will say that did help change my way I thought. It helped change my thought process. To get to sleep, I would soak myself into shows that consumed my mind to get my mind off of things just so I could fall asleep. And then when I started taking care of myself and putting myself first, I found I was in a better position to be able to help others and myself. So, I mean, it's kind of like that travel thing. If you travel, you go on an airplane, what does that stewardess tell you? If the oxygen masks drop, you put it on the person or the child or whatever next to you, and then you put it on yourself. You can't take care of anyone else, and you can't take care of stuff if you don't take care of you.
That's very true. Found that the hard way. And I know a little bit of what you're talking about with your husband from a different angle. When I had my brain aneurysm a year ago and stroke, and my wife, this is very hard for me to say. She was on her way to the hospital driving there after they took me by ambulance, not knowing what was wrong with me, because they wouldn't let her go in the ambulance because of COVID then. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, she calls up and she gets a hold of the head nurse in the emergency room. And nurse says to her while she's driving, well, if we don't get him in a hospital, operating in 15 minutes, he'll be dead. Yeah. And this nurse is asking me, you know, are you a donor? And I said, yeah, take what you want. I was out of it. I didn't know. So, you know, taking care of yourself and taking care of your body and your mind is very essential. And, you know, stay tuned, because Laura Cross has an irresistible offer for anybody who is watching this right now. And I have an irresistible offer for you that's worth over $1,000. So you're watching the Ernie Meyer Show with Laura Cross as our guest speaker. And another thing that we want you to do, if you are willing to, if you see something here that, oh yeah, I know this could help this person, or even yourself, like, comment, share, and subscribe. The more that we have and the more interaction we have, the more people will be helped. our shows have already helped people and connecting people left and right. And you will enjoy this. I'm telling you, I shouldn't tell you. I'm suggesting that you actually do the things that we talk about. Laura, it sounds like you are at rock bottom and you have emerged from that to be a rock star in what you do today. So tell us about that, please.
It was a battle, and I can tell you my family got frustrated. They knocked themselves out. They were there trying to keep me busy, keep me occupied, and they were getting frustrated because they couldn't understand why I wasn't doing better. And it's like, well, you don't understand. You're on the other phone saying, hey, I love you, see you later. I didn't have anybody to do that anymore. And there was a lot of tough adjustments. It takes time. You got to do it a little step at a time. I mean, going back to Red Robin, where the last place was, we had lunch or this. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, sometimes you may not even know why, and it can be years later, and things just pop up, and it's like floodgates opened. And everybody processes this differently. So, it's like I said, I love travel, and it's important that people get away, but I realize that self-care is even more important. And if I can help people, I can help share the tips and tricks with them that I use to help them get through that, then that's what I'm all about, is trying to help, not just educate them, but say, here's some things we can do. Or I know a whole host of, network of holistic health professionals and wellness that can help.
Yes.
And without the drugs, without all the foggy feeling, because even that takes time, to kick out of and get out of your system. So it's a process, and everyone's different. It's not a one size fits all, but that's why I tell you self-care is not selfish. It's essential if you want a healthier you. And if you're one of those people busting your butt to build a business and build something for your family wants you there to enjoy it with them. You got to take those time and the breaks away.
Yes. There's a couple of messages here, people, that I want you to really pay attention to. Number one, that Laura emerged around this and became a person, an entrepreneur, to help other people. And if you help other people and you are doing good for other people, why not? She's no longer having to work long hours or do different things. So she was able to actually brace and come above that, rise above that. And the other thing is that when somebody passes that you like, or some traumatic takes care of your life, boy, I'm all tongue-tied again. And that's easy for me to say, and I say that often, but I immediately went to the part when my grandson was killed. And I withdrew. And when people tried to help me, I just snapped at them. I mean, it's just like, who are you to tell me how to feel and how to act and how to behave? And I was still a miserable person to be with, but back then I was really bad.
I don't think so, but
all I could think about was getting to my friend who I went to school with, and he was a great friend of mine. And the last time I talked to him, his daughter had died, was only 3 years old. And she had leukemia and had no symptoms until the day before she died. So I'm there talking to Chuck, and I said, I want to tell you how I feel, but I don't. And he says, no, Ernie, you don't. And you never want to find out. Well, I did. And all I could do and all I could think about was getting to my friend Chuck. And I found his sister on Facebook, and I friended her, and I said, I'm trying to get a hold of your brother. She says, I'm so sorry. He was killed by a drunk driver a few years back. And in my mind, I had no one. So prepare yourself. Don't let life take your destination. Take your own destination where you want to go. You can you can make a living, or you can design your life. And design your life means more than just making a living. You can actually think about how you would love to be. And I know a lot of people, and Laura knows a lot of people who have done this. Laura, do you have anything that you would like to say in addition to what you talked about?
Yeah, you brought up a good point because Dakota, my fiance, and we wound up coming down with COVID at the end of July. They gave me a Z-Pack pack. I was feeling better by day 2. He's not military. And by the time we got done jumping through their hoops, his doctor, the hospital, even though we know it works for him, nobody wanted to give him a Z-Pack. He's a type 2 diabetic. He struggled. We just now got him off of oxygen and he'll be going back to work on Monday. So we're going to be back to normal. But to see him in so much pain and struggling, it was so frustrating that we couldn't get the help. But on the other hand, because I've built this and because I know all these people and different things that I could connect to and say, hey, what have you done? I had the ability to shut things down and stay home for the month and take care of him because that's my life now. I'm not looking to lose another one, for the same thing. I don't want to go through that. And when you go through that stuff, there's all kinds of stuff. There's anger, there's depression, there's, you got people that try to help. They don't even think, and they will say the stupidest things to you. And you really just want to reach out and slap them. I mean,
Yeah.
I had people telling me, oh, I know just how you feel. I got divorced.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a divorce is nothing like dying someone. You can still talk to them and ask. I can't get answers for anything I had. It's gone. So it's not that I necessarily think they mean bad. They just don't think before they speak. And so there's so many different emotions and stuff. And I went through a lot of emotions last month because I was concerned about him. And I know a lot of people are struggling with emotional self-care. So that's why I wanted to provide for them a PDF that gives you more detail about emotional self-care and give them some tips and techniques, some different things that they can do to help keep them in a better space, a better happy place, a better emotional frame of mind.
Okay, that is great, Laura. And it sounds like that's your free offer is this PDF with all this information on that. And we will put in the YouTube underneath in the comments a place where you can get a hold of that. And Laura will provide that link to you as well. And you can contact her to have a little conversation with her. And my irresistible offer to you is if you have broken through your roadblocks and barriers in life and become a success in what you do, I want to interview you. And you want to be interviewed as well. Everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame, and I'm willing to give it to you if you want. So with Laura Cross, we want to thank you, and we're happy to have you watch our show. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and you can make a living or you can design a life. And we know a lot of people who have designed a life, and there's so many different things that you could do out there. So
and I want to thank you. I'm sorry. I want to thank you, Ernie, for having me. And also to let people know, for those that do contact me, I do have an extra added special bonus for them.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is great. This is the second one today where people have had more than one bonus, one offer. But make sure you get in contact with Laura first to get that first offer, and she will talk to you about the second offer. So this is great. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. You all come back now here.